Hey there guys, and welcome back to another Factorio mod spotlight. I'm Exterminator, and thank you for joining me today. Now we actually have a little bit of something different. I'm actually going to be spotlighting two mods within this video. And the reason for this is because I think they go really well together. They're made by the same person, and one is basically just an early game version, and the other is like a mid-game version of kind of the same thing. So we're just going to be kind of showcasing two mods that go very well together. So these mods are the lead mod as well as the titanium mod. So these have been out a couple months, it looks like, the lead mod has been out a couple months. The titanium mod has been out over a year, almost 2 years. But they both seem very popular, and I really like what they do. So let's start with the lead mod. So this adds lead ore to the base game. It's basically an early game resource. It's meant to make the early game a little more challenging without like majorly fundamentally changing it. It also adds small amounts of complexity farther into the game. It can be mined simply just by hand without fluid, or by miner obviously, but you don't need fluid, and it can also be mined by hand. As you can see, we have some lead ore here. And this is what it looks like on the map. It's kind of reddish. And it is used for a lot of early game stuff. So I'm just going to kind of go down the list here. So lead will replace iron plate unless otherwise specified. So in vanilla, it will replace iron plate in the making of pipe, underground pipe, firearm magazine, storage tank, sulfuric acid. When you make sulfuric acid, you'd have to input lead because it normally would take iron. Battery, uranium fuel cells, gun turrets replaces some iron. Big electric pole, lead has been added to it. Substation, furnace, and solar panel lead has been added to those. So let's just take a look. So the big medium power pole. So big power pole, it takes lead. They didn't take anything out, but just added lead to it. Same with this. Pipes, you can see lead plate here, and then you just get the plate from smelting the ore. And then, furnaces, again, they added it, didn't take anything out. But if we look at something like, well, there's lead, sorry. If we look at like sulfuric acid, this is now going to take lead instead of the iron that it used to take. And then like storage tanks, for example, if we come over to storage tanks, they take lead in addition to iron. And it didn't replace it in everything. So like gears still take iron. They don't take lead. It just replaces a few things, adds a little bit of complexity, just basically an additional resource to the early game of things, which I think is pretty cool. And then the titanium mod does a very similar thing, but it is more of a mid-game focus. So here's some titanium ore up there. And titanium ore, again, adds a new resource. However, titanium actually will require lubricant to mine. So much like uranium requires sulfuric acid to mine, titanium will require lubricant to mine it. So this is something that you'll need to keep in mind, but this is more of a mid-game changer here. It's buried by trees, but you can kind of see what it looks like. It's kind of this grayish white color here, and you can see there 0.3 lubricant per mining operation. And the lead is common in the starting area, just a note here, but it is kind of rare actually as you go farther out because it's more of an early game thing. The titanium, I think, is going to be a bit more abundant maybe as you go out here. So reading from the mod portal page for the titanium, the main thing it changes is that flying robot frames and low density structures now require titanium plates instead of steel. It requires lube to mine, as I said. However, the mining fluid is configurable in the mod settings, and research prerequisites and costs are adjusted to match. So we'll take a look at that shortly. So basically, I just mentioned the couple things, and then like steam turbine, titanium is added to the recipe of that. Heat exchangers, titanium is added to that. Also base game equipment that used steel, and any modded equipment that has equipment in the recipe name, including so solar panels, night vision, basically any like personal power armor equipment is going to now require titanium, and such like that. So if we just take a quick look here at some of this stuff, so this now requires titanium. The personal batteries, the exoskeletons will require some. If we look at this, this didn't really require steel anyway. Anything that kind of maybe required steel is going to require titanium. You can see this does now. And then if we look at like low density structures, for example, instead of the steel, and now it takes titanium. Just another look at like steam engines here, you can see that's iron, but steam turbines are now titanium as well. So the titanium you just get, again, by smelting, but you do require lubricant to mine it. One last note on the lead, which I did forget, is it actually, when you smelt it, it does provide a byproduct of copper ore. So you will need to do a little bit of sorting with this because it outputs lead. You can see down there 2 lead plate from 2 lead ore, and then it also is like a 33.33% chance to output copper ore in addition. So you can get some extra copper ore from this process, but you're just going to have to sort it out. So that is an important note there. Quick look at technology here. We can see here, so if we look at like lead, there is nothing because it's just an early game thing. If we look at titanium, you can see here, it is something we will have to unlock. Titanium processing, kind of like you'd have to unlock steel. It's not too late in, and then this just allows you to process it there. So there's that. Now, mod settings, you can see here lead entities, adds lead entities, currently just a lead chest. Use lead and sulfuric acid, you can change that on and off. Titanium, experimental, titanium mining fluid, so you can change this if you'd want it to require something else. No map, and then no player. So there's that. Now, this is compatible seemingly with a lot of other mods. Just as a finishing note here, it says here on the lead page, this is compatible with RSO, which is really nice, space exploration and AAI, Factorio 2, other big mod packs including 5 dims, more support to come there. Other popular mods like Omnimatter, deadlock stacking, deep core mining, big furnace, etc. And then titanium, I assume, would have the same compatibility. It looks like it. Maybe a little bit in Bob's revamp mod and a little bit in Angel smelting without Bob's. But overall, in loose compatibility with piano dints as well. But very compatible. I think that's going to do it, guys. It was a bit of a lengthy spotlight, but it was several things we kind of showcased here. And I think it's just really cool. I really like that it adds a bit of complexity to the game, but doesn't like completely like revamp and overhaul stuff. It's just kind of a nice additional thing you have to consider when playing, but it's not a nightmare. And there you go. As always, links in the description to both these mods on the mod portal where you can check them out with some information. The dev has put a lot of information up there if I missed anything. And if you did enjoy and found this helpful, a like is appreciated. If you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe to keep up with all future content. And I would love to hear your thoughts and questions down below. If you do have any questions, definitely feel free to ask. But overall, I really like these mods. Really cool. Maybe we'll do a playthrough with them at some point. But that'll do it. As always, guys, until next time, I look forward to seeing you all, and do take care.